If I have to say in 3 words what is interesting in antique posters, it's historical and artistical testimonial of the 20th century, mainly 20th century. It began a little before, and it's still continued today, of course. As I was one of the pioneers in the poster market, we saved many thousands of posters. We saved them from destroying. At the beginning, nobody cares of them. And I was lucky to buy some collection or stock. And now the people knows about posters. It's a recognized art in the history of the 20th century. And I made the job to preserve them and to give them a recognition about their importance in history and art movement. I remember precisely when I began the posters, entering in the poster world. It was 48 years ago, a long time. When I was a student, I found some posters under a wooden floor. They were stuck under the floor as an isolation purpose. And it was a beautiful image for Renault cars. And it astonished me. They were so great, a large size poster in excellent condition. And I understand they were 100 years old. So I began to be interested in this world, and I began my track to find other posters, original, old ones, that nobody cares at the time. And but I learned that there were a museum in Zurich, then a gallery in Paris, an auction in New York, and that was the beginning of my track and my entrance in the poster world. Advertising posters were done to send a message, to give a message to the public. So for that, they are coming out of the wall, out of the image. And for this, they are bright colors, they have bright colors with strong design. And it's really the difference between painting, but we have many exchange between advertising art and painting. Painter sometimes get inspiration from posters, like Andy Warhol, of course. And of course, the other way, many painters did also posters. I believe the principal difficulty about old advertising poster is their fragility. As they were supposed to be posted in the street, they were printed on a thin paper. Of course, at the time, they had just the value for advertisement, not a market value and art value. Most of them were firstly posted in the street, and the rest of the printing, of the run, they were kept, maybe by chance, but most of the time they were destroyed. The people use them to make the fire or to design on the back or like this. So many of them are extremely rare today. We can count them maybe a few exemplars in the world. And probably some images, some posters totally disappeared, but it's my job to track them and to find an image that nobody knows. And so that's very interesting for us. This track is really interesting for us. So we develop an atelier for restoration. So we save hundreds and hundreds of posters from destroying, and because we can repair them and stabilize them to make a photograph, to put them on the catalog, on the web. And our website is one of the worldwide reference for posters, and also for dating posters. We work a lot to date them. It's because most of them, they don't have the date on it. The date was not printed because they were in the year, used for August, and everyone knows that August is the next month, for example, and so they don't have the date. And it's one of our challenges to find the date, so we cross information between the product, the paper, the printing techniques, the artist, and we try to date them. And it's one of our nice challenge to do it. Today we cannot talk about the style in advertisement poster because there are many different styles. But what we can see that many posters use photographs and photo montage, so composition of different photos together with interesting typographic work. That type of photo montage and typographic poster, we see many creation today. Otherwise, the rest of the production is more just informative, like suggest to go to a website or like this. But it's still in cultural, mostly in cultural posters. They are very interesting piece today. We can think about Galerie or Troxler or many others. I have many posters that I don't want to sell. Sometimes I upgrade my collection. I sell piece to buy another one. But this one is one of the top. I will keep it forever. I collect a lot of different posters, different style, mostly Swiss, but I could be also, of course, interested in other countries. And for example, I have one here, the famous German posters. It was done in 1908. It was a real revolution in art, especially in travel posters art, because at the turn of the century, the design in travel was really romantic and realistic landscape with, in Switzerland with coves and mountains. And Émile Cardinaux in 1908, the artist, make a total break in art, showing the Matterhorn, the Cervin in French, in a morning light. Just the light was touch the mountain, but not the valley. And it makes this very strong image in very early. If you think 1908 is really early in art advertising story. And with a simple text, just Zermatt and the altitude, over 4,000 meters. And this poster was really changed the understanding of how a poster could touch people and could work to give us a message. I would say at the beginning, the public has to browse the 20th century to see the different style. If the person prefer like turn of the century, Art Nouveau, or maybe Art Deco between the two worlds, or even the 50s or 70s. Many young people like the 70s, for example, today. I would not push a style or a period, but I think everyone has to understand and to feel. Then, if you like a period, if you like a style, enter in it. Read some book or go on the web, look the images, and rapidly you will see and you will focus on some images, maybe even some color or some style in the period that you prefer, and you go there. Today, public really like the 50s and the pop art, psychedelic art, very modern, colorful, or even the concrete art we have here. We have an exhibition about concrete art, very colorful, happy. So that's a big part of our business and interest. But also we have people interested in the Art Nouveau, classic Art Nouveau posters, or Art Deco, of course, very striking images for cars or trains in the 30s. So different interests are still going on today. When I began 48 years ago, nobody understood what I was doing and saying. Today it's totally different. At the time, there were no books on art poster unless for graphic designers, very professional books. Today, in the world, I'm sure it's maybe each week it's a new book about posters. So people really like them. It's in the popular culture today. I don't think this interest will disappear. On the opposite, it's more and more popular. So I have a good thinking about the future. And also now there are many museums who has collection, or even they are specialized in posters. So this will also make them more popular, and that's the way. Specifically to work with InkPoster is very interesting for us because it could be a good door or a good entrance to this art. People who don't know about or don't know well about old posters, they could see some on the screen of InkPosters. They could have some at home, on the wall, or maybe in a public space, and begin interested in this world, and then enter and learn and finally come to the gallery. I have many customers who say, I don't have any more place. So it could be a good solution for a collector to put his collection on InkPosters. So that could be keep safely the posters in a drawer like here, and then have them on the wall on the screen of InkPoster. It's a good product.